All right, what's up, y'all? This is Logic, hip-hop artist from Maryland. I always say that. Keep this in here, too. Y'all watching Hard Knock TV. Swag.
The grind never stops like I'm running from the cops. It's hard to stay humble when you're force-fed props, but I don't give a damn. I am just a man. I am not more important than any one of my fans. First name Bobby, so I'm all about the hundreds. Work so hard, everybody think I'm blunted. Gunning hard with the mask and Glock, and I'ma stay with extra clips till the casket drops.
Touring in Europe.
Oh, yeah.
What was that like?
That was crazy as fuck, man.
Was that your first time in Europe?
First time in Europe. Food sucks, but the people are awesome. So I get off the plane and I go to the hotel, and then we go to some pub in London, and I get fish and chips or some shit and I fucking throw up. I go straight back to the hotel. It was a pretty terrible experience. But that was like the worst of it. Then after that, it was great. It's crazy to go to other countries, man. Like when we went to Paris, well, we didn't get a chance to actually go to Paris. It got canceled because there was a snowstorm, blizzard and shit, so we couldn't fly through it. It was unfortunate. Like Belgium and Amsterdam, and these places where people really don't even speak English, and yet they listen. Like I'm performing in front of sold out crowds across the world, and these people know every lyric to every song. And then we'll do a meet and greet afterwards where I meet all the fans, and we can't even fucking have a conversation.
That's crazy.
Like, what? That's so weird. Like, it's just, I almost like don't understand it. It's like, and it's kind of crazy, man. And I don't think about it. That's one thing I like about interviews, especially great interviews like this, when people ask you questions and they make you reflect. Because I think when you're driven as an artist, you're always looking forward. But sometimes you don't want to constantly dwell in the future or even the past at the expense of the present, you know? That's why I try not to dwell and look back too much, because I feel like if I just am happy about all the things I've accomplished, like what else is there? I got to keep setting goals. But going back to Europe, it was great. It was fucking awesome. I don't like flying though.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't fuck with that shit at all.
You're on that John Madden tip? You're going to take a bus all across the...
No, I mean, statistically, like, I'm safe as shit on the plane, but it's still always a little... I think everybody's like that. Deep down in the back of their head, they're like, man, what is this shit? But it's all good.
The more you think about it, the worse it gets. Because
Yeah.
you're like, oh shit, I can't leave. Oh fuck, I'm stuck.
I know.
Here's my chair. Oh, but,
Yeah.
oh shit. But, and then you're like, then you start mindful.
I just put my headphones on. I got like noise canceling headphones, and I'll just play Bejeweled or Tetris while I'm listening to music the whole time. Like if it gets turbulence and shit, I'll just be like, oh shit, and try to, yeah. Anyway, Europe was great.
All I ever wanted was some financial security, and now I fuck with bitches just to mask my insecurities, cause pussy ain't nothing but my heart is so full of something. Now I'm colder than ever, pushing through any weather. High score flow, ain't none of y'all close to my level. Mental state of a winner in the shoes of a beginner, visualizing my horizon through the eyes of a sinner, noticing how the line between me and fame is getting thinner. Y'all don't
Speaking of tours, you're about to go tour with Cudi.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
That just came about from like him and his people over there, man. That was cool. I actually just got back from my own tour, the Welcome to Forever tour, and I've only really kind of known what it's like to headline. So it's gonna be great to be able to open, you know? It's just gonna be kick-ass, because I'm opening, but I don't see it as, by no means do I see it as a step down or anything like that. It's a big step up, because I'll headline in front of like, 2,000 people on my own, but then I'm about to be in front of like 15,000 people opening every night. It's just incredible exposure, And Cudi, like, he doesn't really fuck with a lot of people, man. I remember talking to Dot the Genius, shout out to the homie, about it, and he was like, for him to be fucking with you, man, that's what's up. And I remember when I was on my other tour, I have this song called The Come Up, where I sample an interview that he did with Power 106, and he just showed me love. He was like, man, like, he went on Twitter. He's kind of like a hermit, like he'll be in the cut and just working on his music and shit, but for him to like come out and publicly show me love like that is really cool, because this is somebody who's also an incredibly huge inspiration and has been one for some time. So to kind of have that love, like I was saying earlier before we turned the camera on, like, making friends with all these people is my favorite part. Not just working with them or getting a verse or this, but like actually being cool with people that, essentially you used to idolize, and now you just see they're just mortal men. And they're great at what they do, and I'm still huge, of course. But it's really cool to just know, like, they're just regular motherfuckers that are super cool and down to earth. It's incredible. But I'm excited for the tour, yeah.
Ever since I was a youngin', I knew I'd break in the game. While you worshipped other rappers that leave you less entertained, I was strategizing before the people knew my name. Fame, but I still attain on the road to success. Bumping J in the HOV lane, searching for wisdom in women, but only getting brain. Yo quiero dormir contigo, mi amorcito. I know we fight, but that's poquito. Unless you do me foul like a frito, then we finito.
All I do is rhyme.
Going from looking up at artists to actually being a peer. I know J. Cole is somebody that you've mentioned.
Yeah, man.
You know, actually getting a chance to hang out, and you know, because some people say, "Oh, Logic's flow reminds me a little bit of Cole," or you know, a little bit of when he sings, it reminds me a little Drake or whatever. It's like now, it's like now you're in that circle. You're talking to people as on a peer level. How does that feel?
It's really crazy, man. I remember when I was on tour, and one of the only concerts that I really ever went to go to was a J. Cole concert when he was, and this was like 2 years ago. And he had the #1 album in the country, and he sold out the Fillmore, which is 2,000 people in Maryland. And it's like the only concert I ever been to, man. And I remember just being so inspired by this dude. And I think the reason that shit resonates with Cole so much is because, man, white mom, black dad wasn't around. Like, he wasn't from the hood, but he wasn't doing good at all. Like, he was right next to it. It was so similar. It was something I could relate to. And, you know, when I went on my tour, I sold that same place out. And there was this really crazy picture of just a sea of people on the side, and then like little me, you know, like, and I texted him. And I was like, man, I never told you this, but 2 years ago I went to see you when you had the #1 album, man, and you sold it out. And I'm like, today I did it. And he was like, yo, that's fucking incredible. Like, he texted me right back. It is so cool to get that love and respect, man, from these people that you really look up to, you know? And no matter how much on the level where I get closer to somebody or one day that we're on the same level, like, you still look up to that person. You still respect that person and what they do. Which is really awesome. And it's also, like, I don't like to hide shit. I don't like to hide the fact that you can hear a little taste of Cole or Drake or Nas or this or that. Like you know, there'll be people who be like, oh yeah, you know, yeah, man, you kind of sound like Nas, that's what's up. But then they'll be like, oh man, you sound like Cole, or you sound like Drake, or you sound like this. It's like, well, what the fuck is, okay, it's okay to sound like this guy, but I can't, like, it's not even like that, it's just that lane of hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Like Drake really pioneered that melodic kind of like singing on a shit. Like, nobody's really singing and rapping before, you know, like that on a commercial level like that. So it was cool, man. But I love to be able to meet these people, and they know it. They know that they inspired me and things like that. But they also give me respect because they're like, yo, like, you're you. Like, I hear you. And when people say whatever they say, oh, you sound like this, or you sound like this, or whatever the fuck, I don't really see it as a bad thing because all of those sounds in one compile Logic. You know, I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and they asked me, not in a bad way, they were like, what's your sound? You know, it's a friend of mine. And they're like, what's your sound? I don't understand your sound. Like, what is it? Because I don't know. And what they meant was, they were like, you don't have a sound. Like, you can rap on a trap beat, you can rap on a raw beat, you can rap on a commercial beat, you can rap on some, like, you know, cool, weird Kendrick Lamar type shit. Like, you could, like, I don't know, what is your sound? I said, you know what? I don't think I'm not defined by necessarily a sound, but my flow. My flow is extremely versatile, and I can do all types of things. And I said, I think a sound, you know, take somebody like 2 Chainz, incredible production, but it's very, you know, like urban, kind of mainstream, trappish, like that's his sound. Tyga has a sound, like, you know, Bay rappers, like they have a sound. People from the East, like they have a sound. Because they go to the producers that give them the sound that they want. But with me, my producers create all types of different shit from all over different sides of the spectrum. And just like I think an incredible producer can create instrumentals for any type of rapper and get that money, I always thought, how cool would it be for a rapper to do any and every style possible? So for me, my style is my flow.